Welcome to Lounge Logic. I've got a broad selection of general knowledge questions for you today, something for everybody. But before we get started, let's go over how things will work. Whether you're playing solo, against friends, or together as a team, the best way to play is by pulling out a pen and paper or the notes app on your phone. Now there's 2 rounds of 15 questions, 20 seconds for each, and 1 point for each correct answer. At the end of each round, there'll be a recap before the answers are revealed. Now the rounds move fast, but if you don't need time for a recap, this is your chance to tackle the brain teaser. There's one at the end of each round, and these are worth 2 points. So that brings us to a total of 34 points up for grabs. But that's enough yapping, let's get into it. Here's round 1.
Round 1.
Question 1. What color is the black box flight recorder on a commercial airplane? Question 2. What is the name of the iconic 500-mile NASCAR Cup Series race held in Florida? Question 3. What was the most streamed show in 2024 and 2025 consecutively on any streaming service? Question 4. The exterior of the Statue of Liberty is primarily composed of which metal? Question 5. Which country has the longest coastline in the world, measuring over 200,000 kilometers? Question 6. Which British American rock band released this album in 1977? Question 7. What element has the chemical symbol Fe? Question 8. What species of fish is considered to be the fastest in the ocean? Question 9. If you're boiling this pot of water at the summit of Mount Everest, will it boil at a higher or lower temperature than at sea level? Question 10. What hit TV series follows a Miami forensic analyst who spends his days analyzing blood splatters and his nights creating them? Question 11. In the NATO phonetic alphabet, which word is used to represent the letter U? Question 12. Which country is the world's leading producer of coffee beans? Question 13. Before becoming the host of The Muppet Show, Kermit the Frog was a series regular on Sesame Street, where he famously held what recurring day job? Question 14. Which classic casino table game, played by rolling 2 dice, is the focus of Frank Sinatra's iconic performance of Luck Be a Lady in the musical film Guys and Dolls? Question 15. Found on almost every modern electronic device, what does the technical acronym USB stand for? Okay, now it's time for a recap. You can pause here if you need extra time, but if you don't need any extra time, have a go at the brain teaser. Try to find the 9-letter word in the scrambler while only using each letter once. Failing that, just try to find the highest scoring word or the weirdest word you can, but no points if you don't solve it. Okay, it's time to run through the answers for round 1. The black box flight recorder on a commercial airplane is bright orange. The name of the iconic 500-mile NASCAR race held every year in Florida is the Daytona 500. 2024 and 2025's most streamed show was Bluey. The exterior of the Statue of Liberty is primarily composed of copper. The country with the longest coastline in the world is Canada. Which British American rock band released this album in 1977? That was Fleetwood Mac's Rumours. The element with the chemical symbol Fe is iron. The species of fish considered to be the fastest in the ocean is the blue marlin. Boiling a pot of water on the summit of Mount Everest will boil at a lower temperature than at sea level. The hit TV series that follows a blood splatter analyst is Dexter. In the NATO phonetic alphabet, the letter U is represented by the word uniform. The world's leading producer of coffee beans is Brazil. Before becoming the host of The Muppet Show, Kermit the Frog appeared regularly on Sesame Street as a news reporter. The casino game that Frank Sinatra sings about in Luck Be a Lady is craps. The technical acronym USB stands for Universal Serial Bus. That's all the answers for round 1. Did you manage to solve the scrambler? Today's hidden word in the scrambler was makeshift. Once you're done tallying up your points, we'll get straight back into it with round 2.
Round 2.
Question 16. In what decade was bubble wrap invented? Was it in A, 1950s, B, 1960s, C, 1970s, or D, 1980s? Question 17. Who sculpted the statue of David? Question 18. What is the most densely populated US state? Question 19. What noodle dish is traditionally eaten in Japan on New Year's Eve? Question 20. Inhabiting the freshwater rivers of South America, what distinct color is the Amazon River dolphin? Question 21. Which 1990s tennis rebel famously defied traditional dress codes by wearing acid-wash denim shorts during professional matches? Question 22. Which country covers an entire continent? Question 23. Diana Ross rose to fame as the front woman of which iconic 1960s vocal group? Question 24. Who was the director behind the 1984 film The Terminator? Question 25. Which mammal possesses a larynx but is unique for its total lack of vocal folds or vocal cords, making them essentially mute? Question 26. Affecting approximately 10% of the population, trypanophobia is the irrational and intense fear of what? I think that's how you pronounce it.
Trypanophobia.
Question 27. This is the national flag of which Central American country? Question 28. Who wrote the novel 1984? Question 29. Which actor provided the voice for the main character, Gru, in the Despicable Me movies? Question 30. Which tropical root vegetable is the primary source of the starch used in bubble tea pearls? Time for another recap. This brain teaser is the one-note wonder. You're going to find out what the song is using only the first letter of the words in the song. It might be a little tricky, but I know everyone knows the song. Good luck. And time for some answers. Question 16. The decade that bubble wrap was invented was the 1950s. The person who sculpted the statue of David was Michelangelo. The most densely populated US state is New Jersey. On New Year's Eve, it's a tradition that people in Japan eat soba. The color of the dolphins in the Amazon River is pink. The tennis player that was wearing acid-washed denim shorts was Andre Agassi. The country that covers an entire continent is Australia. Diana Ross rose to fame as the frontwoman of The Supremes. The director behind the 1984 film The Terminator was James Cameron. The mammal that doesn't have any vocal cords is the giraffe. 10% of people have trypanophobia, which is the irrational fear of needles or injections. This is the national flag of Guatemala. 1984 was written by George Orwell. The actor that provided the voice for the lead actor Gru in the Despicable Me films was Steve Carell. The tropical root vegetable that's the primary source of starch and used in bubble tea pearls is cassava. And the final brain teaser, did you get it? The song was We Are the Champions by Queen. 2 points if you got that one. Now do a final score tally. That concludes today's trivia. How'd you go? Did you smash it? I hope it was at least a little challenging. Either way, I hope you had fun. If you've got any suggestions or feedback, leave it in the comments, get notified and subscribe for new videos. Until next time, thanks for playing.